welcome to another Sedaru Live podcast episode. I'm Adam Simonson, Director of Enterprise Solutions for Sedaru. I'm with Kevin Kashko. Kevin, how are things?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good. Kevin's our Chief Product Officer. He's in charge of, really the person in charge of Sedaru. We got a few things we're going to run through in this podcast. It's really designed, though, to be the summer wrap-up. You know, we're taping this now on August 17th. Labor Day's around the corner. Summer vacations are over for the most part. So we're going to recap what's been great this summer, and maybe we'll hit a few lowlights in there too. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. If you aren't already, make sure you follow us on social media. Look for Sedaru Live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. Pretty much all those places you can find us. So Kevin, how's your summer been, man? It's been a while since we've done one of these podcasts. I think last time we talked, we were kind of doing a wrap up from the AWWA conference.
I'm happy to say I was able to get out of town a couple of times. So went to LA 2 weeks ago, spent some time with family, and then right after 4th of July, spent about a week in Cabo. So that was a much different trip, but a great one nonetheless. So yeah.
Nice. One of those was no kids, right? So
yeah. So no kids in Cabo. We did it right, man. It was a lot of fun. I had never been there before, so didn't know what to expect. Super nice. I'd traveled to like Rosarito. I've done Ensenada. I grew up in Southern California, so we'd head down and it was an hour drive south of the border and hang out. But Cabo was much different. So you had a larger city, but really nice.
How many days were you there in Cabo?
We were there for 5 days. Yeah.
Gotcha. Now I'm going to ask you an honest question.
Sure.
Honest question. Did you miss your kids?
No, I didn't. No. It reminded me of the days of yore where I did not have to worry about kids for a while. Yeah, it was fun, man. We had a good time. I'll tell you, there was so one night we went to this place. What was it called? Gigglin' Marlin, and they have it's one of those tourist trap types of places. But sure. They had a contest of like 80s songs. And so they're like, all right, who wants to volunteer? I'm just like, give me that thing.
Like a karaoke thing?
No. So, here. So this is how it started.
If there's karaoke, I'm sure there's cell phone videos somewhere of you in a Mexican bar singing karaoke.
Yeah, see, I need to get that. So we have people from the group that have the video. But no, so it starts off as a contest, though. So
you're still holding back on me.
No, I'll give you all, man. I'm not going to hold back. No, so it starts off with a contest. It's basically like like quarterfinals, semifinals, but it's like music trivia. So like songs from the 80s, they play like the first 5 seconds of it, and then you pair it off with someone. You hit the buzzer, and then whoever guesses the song wins it. Gotcha. So went through several rounds, and of course, man, like 80s is like that's my jam. So like I was hitting them all, and then there was like the final guy. He was actually pretty decent. He looked exactly like Peyton Manning. And I'm just like, all right. Forehead. Yeah. And but he was like, I could tell he wasn't like a music buff like me, but like he was still getting them right. They were like really easy songs, like the ones that everyone knows. So I'm like, oh man, if they got a little deeper, I could really get them good. Yeah. But anyway, so it was like the final round. Like he got 2, I got 2, he got 1, and it was like the last. I got 1. There was like the last one, the tiebreaker, and. Played like the first key and like, boom, got it. And so I don't know, I think it was like, it wasn't even like it was like I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. It wasn't even like an 80s-ish song, but nonetheless. So got it. And then they're like, okay, you win the contest. And they're like, okay, we're going to give you a chance to buy everyone in this whole bar a shot. All you have to do is sing karaoke to this song. And then I'm like, okay. And then they start playing Journey, Don't Stop Believin'.
Sure. All right.
Yeah. And I'm like, give me that mic. And then right. I had to, by then I had, half, more than a dozen drinks in me.
Right.
So I was feeling fine and, no issues there. So yeah, I grabbed the mic, belted it out, and proceeded to buy the bar some shots. So it was a good night, very fulfilling. And
I thought you were going to say, like, we're going to give you an opportunity to buy everybody here in the shop. All we're going to need from you is your credit card.
That's right. $300.
Right.
So,
you'll be the most popular person here.
Yeah, exactly. So during that whole process, I didn't miss my kids.
Nice. Good. I'm glad to see your priorities are straight. That's good. So I think, because it wasn't long after that then we, we're out at the Esri UC.
Yeah.
And user conference out there in San Diego. And you were there, I think you were only there a day, right?
2 days, yeah. But actually, they're on site at the booth for a day.
Right. Was there for the duration. We had some good food out in San Diego. We had a few good meals. Nice. I actually had food at that place, the Crack Shack, the chicken joint.
Oh, yeah.
Out there in Little Italy. And I do got to say, I mean, it's pretty good chicken.
Is it?
It's like it's on par with like Nashville fried chicken. Like it was a good spot. But the Esri UC was good. I think it was good. We saw lots of our existing customers that were there. We had a lot of really good conversations with folks. A lot of people in and out of the booth. So it was really really enjoyable. And for those folks who don't know, like Sedaru software is really built off of a lot of the Esri geodatabase and back-end technology, and leverages a lot of their APIs. So the more you kind of invest in that geodatabase and doing work in the GIS, you're able to leverage that with your Sedaru software quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree. And no, I thought that was cool to see. Sedaru was featured at the plenary, right? Jack called it out for right. City of Victorville, and that was pretty awesome. So, good to see that.
Yeah, it was one of the sort of highlighted applications in there. So that was, you're right. That was pretty cool. One thing that did come up, and we'll see it come up from time to time, and it came up at the Esri conference, and sometimes comes up with other folks, is this sort of prevalence you see of kind of these free add-on apps that show up with things, that you're using this piece of software for something, and they're like, oh, you know what, you should use our free mobile app that does this or that,
Sure.
And, it's interesting because we've got a significant mobile component to Sedaru that, quite frankly, is not free, right? Yeah. We license it to people. There's a lot of development effort and support and everything that goes into it. So, I don't know. You have any thoughts around that, around free apps, Kevin, and like what, where their place is and where you think maybe their place isn't?
Yeah, well, the free is an interesting term for it. I mean, there's obviously a cost to free.
Sure.
It's granted, there's no licensing fee for the apps, but what are you paying for it? In other ways. I guess the one thing that I caution everyone on is when it comes to something like that, that's like something that's included with licensing or free. Is that you become wary of are you willing to undertake the support, the maintenance of that, the development of that,
what kind of internal resources do you need to have to support this software tool, right?
Yeah, do you guys want to be a software company, or do you want to run utilities? And that's where you actually have to make that decision, because I've seen very sophisticated utilities do that, but they run like a software company, and they have a staff to do that, with dozens of people that run, these programs. But I get concerned when I see the small shops or medium-sized shops that have one GIS person, and then they're supposed to take the heavy lifting of all these apps to maintain and support them. It's, I'd be cautious.
Yeah, and it was interesting. I was having a while back, I don't remember if this was before or after the Esri conference. I was in New Hampshire with the utility. I think it was right after, actually, and their GIS manager sort of said to some of the executive management in the middle of the meeting was like, do you want me to, be doing a lot of value-added GIS work and analyst work and doing that, or do you want me to manage apps?
Yeah.
He said, because that's where I'm worried where we're going on some things, and then again, from the field perspective, having this alphabet soup of apps on your mobile device now, where you might be like, hey, I got to go click on this to do this and this to do this and that, so, and Sedaru really, does such a good job at bringing together data from all kinds of different systems, and, in both a sort of a desktop web interface, but also in this really strong mobile interface too, that, it really can bring together a lot of these things without having to have a little app for this and a little app for that and that kind of thing too. So I would encourage folks, as you're thinking about it, include us in the conversation, because there is a place for those, I think there are certainly cases of, I have seen utilities, especially with some of the GIS apps, I have seen utilities do some great one-off projects with things. Like, I need to go out and collect a whole bunch of information, and I just need to get this app. I need to do it. I need to have it done in a month, and get the data collected. I've got college interns coming in. Boom, boom, boom. Some of those things work great. But yeah, I think when you start thinking about that being a long-term solution for managing a lot of things, you should be a little cautious about it in general.
Yeah, I agree.
So we'll see. So after at that Esri UC, I went on vacation for a little week. We had a nice time with the kids. We were in New Hampshire for a little bit. We went up to Mount Washington. Have you ever been to Mount Washington?
No. So that's in Vermont?
That's in New Hampshire.
Oh, New Hampshire, sorry.
So it is the highest point in the and I'm going to probably screw this up. It's the highest point, at least in the Northeast.
Okay.
I think a Half Dome in the Smoky Mountains is a little bit higher. So, but it's the highest point in the Northeast. It's only at and I'm going to screw this up to 8,000 feet, maybe something like that. So it's not, but it's a solid climb. I think you start, the base is maybe at 3,000 feet. You go up 5,000 feet. But they actually have a road that you can drive all the way up to the top. So the whole time we were in New Hampshire on vacation, it rained. It was just, we got all the kids, that basically after 2 days of rain are ready to kill each other. And it was we should do today, let's go up. We're just going to drive to the top of Mount Washington, which you can do. But what happens is you get, the weather is just insane when you get up there. There's about where it is and all this stuff. So when we actually got to the top of Mount Washington, they're like, oh, you can't drive up today. The weather's too bad.
Yeah.
But you can take a van up there, with a tour driver, who can do it. So we did that. When we get to the top of Mount Washington, at the base when we were there, now this is the middle of July, right? The base, it was 65 degrees maybe, and kind of light rain, just kind of a gross day, right?
Yeah.
Nothing horrible. At the top of Mount Washington, it was 40 degrees, at 70-mile-an-hour winds, and rain. And so it was literally being in a hurricane.
Yeah.
So it's so you hopped out of the thing, and of course, me, I'm wearing shorts.
Yeah.
And none of us had the right clothes on it. Everybody else up there was clearly knew what they were doing. None of us were wearing the right clothes. So
and just trying to make do, right? It's
yeah.
You can't hear anything. We're having a good time, right?
Yeah, exactly. My daughter's screaming at me. She's like, "I'm gonna blow away! I can't even stand." She's 7 and 60 pounds.
Yeah.
She's like, "I can't stand. I'm gonna die." So. It was pretty awesome. It was pretty cool. It was just, it was one of those things everybody will remember it, So
yeah.
I had always said I had wanted to hike up to the top of it. I never wanted to drive up. It seemed like wimping out. So
yeah.
So I'm gonna have to still do that one day. But
yeah, 5,000 vertical sounds pretty. It's a solid hike.
It's a solid hike. So it was pretty good. So that was good. And then the second half of the week, we actually went down to Maryland and hung out with my family. But we stopped on the way and went to a Kesha Macklemore concert with all the kids in Camden, New Jersey.
Wow. With the kids, huh?
With the kids, yeah. So it was pretty good. We had lawn seats. Oh, and it rained the whole freaking time. Well, not for the whole concert, but the whole start of the concert was just phenomenal amounts of rain.
Whoa.
Phenomenal amounts of rain. And I actually have a cool cell phone video I got of a manhole surcharging, that in the rainstorm in Kansas.
Yeah, you posted that this morning. That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Kind of dancing.
I'll post it on my my Instagram account. People can.
Yeah, you should.
Adam Simonson on Instagram. I'll post it and you can check it out. But it's pretty cool. You can actually, the manhole's actually bouncing because there's so much pressure in the system. So it was pretty cool. So the kids had a good time rocking out in the rain. So it's been a good summer. You know?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And how was the show? How's
It's good. It's good. I mean, I just love going to see music, you know.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. Like and like I said, the kids kind of had fun. Like it was like, you know, between my fiance and I, we've got kids from the age of 16 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
But trying to come up with something that's moderately entertaining across that age range.
I mean, that's pretty much right on the money.
It's almost impossible. You know. So doing the concert's
perfect. Yeah.
Was fairly rad.
Yeah.
So. Cool. So anything new and exciting that we're missing from a Sedaru perspective we should bring up and tell everybody about?
You know, we got some release notes coming up from our latest smart apps or Sedaru apps, basically for outage, for CIP, for ops. Some updates to mobile. We got a new kind of iteration of our mobile app for Field Force.
Yeah.
So exciting stuff coming up. We will be offering up some more information very soon. So stay tuned.
That'll be cool. And you know what? And we'll have to. We're probably not ready to talk. We're not ready to talk about today. Maybe in a few weeks, there's some of the water loss stuff too that's going on. Like we've got some really cool things that we're doing there from the water loss side of things that I think utilities will be interested in. So it should be good. I'm going to be out not next week, the week after. I'll be out in Ohio for the Ohio Water One conference.
Cool.
And then we're also doing the Cal Nevada AWWA conference and the Rocky Mountain AWWA conference and the AWWA Water Infrastructure Conference, like all this fall. So we're going to be out on the road a little bit, continuing to talk to everybody about Sedaru. So.
Do we have a booth at the Rocky one as well?
Yep. Yep. So it should be good. It should be good. We're excited about it. So thanks again everybody for listening. Kevin, good catching up.
Yeah, likewise, man.
And we will plan on we'll do this again in a few weeks. Kind of just keep plugging along, letting people know what's going on.
Sounds good, man.
All right, follow us on social media of your choice, and we'll talk to everybody soon.
All right, till next time.
All right.
Thanks.